Well guys, we are finally starting to get the first round of leaks and rumors of the new upcoming DJI Pocket 4. And it's already shaping up to be a huge upgrade over the existing Pocket 3 and addresses the biggest shortcoming I personally had with that camera. Now, as a quick refresher, the current Pocket 3 was released back in October of 2023, and since then has gone on to become one of the most successful and popular general-purpose video cameras. It's super compact, the menu system is very sleek, modern, easy to use. Of course, we have that 3-axis gimbal for the stabilization, and the Pocket 3 introduced a new 1-inch image sensor, and that enabled this camera to produce just fantastic looking final videos. And that's even in low lighting conditions where most of the competition really struggles. But just like with any camera, this was not perfect. And the biggest issue that I and a lot of people had with this camera was the limitations of its fixed focal length. This came in at an equivalent of 20 millimeters, which is a good angle to have for everyday situations, and via the wide-angle magnetic lens attachment, you were able to change this to 15 millimeters. But unfortunately, having this fixed focal length did make the footage out of this camera a little bit less dynamic than other cameras. And in order to compensate, you would have to physically move the camera closer, further away if you wanted to reframe your shots. Now the issue here is that adding a zoom lens requires space, and that's why even compact cameras that have a zoom lens are still significantly bigger than the Pocket 3. But a trick we've seen with smartphones is to simply add multiple camera lenses, each with a different focal length. At this point, essentially all smartphones implement this strategy, and it's proven to be pretty effective. And it looks like we could see this implemented on the upcoming Pocket 4. This is a supposed early prototype leak of the Pocket 4, and we can see that we have a main camera and a second telephoto lens on the gimbal. And to help gain some insights, I think we can take inspiration from DJI's Air 3S drone, because this also has a gimbal with a dual camera system. The main camera implements a 1-inch sensor, and the second telephoto lens has a 1/1.3-inch image sensor. And if DJI implemented the same configuration on the upcoming Pocket 4, it would mean the main camera overall has about the same quality as the current Pocket 3, but then you have the benefit of the second camera with the more zoomed in focal length with potentially a slightly smaller image sensor. So as of now, this is the main anticipated upgrade with the upcoming Pocket 4, but we do have indications of other smaller secondary improvements, such as with the display. Because with the Pocket 3, one of the main complaints is that the display really isn't that big. So with this new model, we could expect a slightly larger display, potentially around 2.5 inches in size. We could also see a similar bump up in size to the battery, helping to extend the overall recording time. And somewhat interestingly, there are also some rumors of DJI adding electronic image stabilization to this camera. Now the gimbal would still be the primary stabilizer, but the supposed EIS here could help to refine the stabilization and just make it that much better, especially when it comes to stabilizing the Y-axis or the up and down movement. Now to give you guys a timeline here, the expected release date isn't until at least fall of 2026, so this is simply acting as an early look as to what the Pocket 4 could potentially be like when it does eventually launch. If you guys enjoyed, I appreciate a like, subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.